Welcome back to the chaos. I'm Ryan, and we're actually going to be tackling one of my most hated things on my 2016 Nissan Frontier, and I absolutely despise chrome. Like, it just doesn't, I feel like it's dated. I don't like it. So one of the biggest things for me is this chrome grille up front. It just drives me nuts. Walking up to the truck, I don't like the look of it. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna remove it and we're gonna paint it. And not only paint it, but throw a little chaos style at it. So we're gonna lay down a base coat of white and then try to incorporate like a black and white theme in there. So, because everybody either does like a dark gray, black, but I can't be basic. I gotta throw my own style at it. So we're gonna tackle that, but first we gotta get it off. Well, that was extremely easy, almost too easy. So things are going smooth so far. There's 9 of those push tabs, and then they're at the very bottom, which putting it in is gonna be a lot easier because you're pushing the tabs in, but you have to like kind of press down and pull out in order to get like those tabs to release. So aside from that, once I figured that out, it was cake. So now that we got the grill out, I'm actually looking at it, and I'm thinking we can even separate like all the chrome pieces, separate those from like the kind of mesh behind. And if that's the case, that's gonna be even extremely better, because all I want to do is paint the chrome. So if I don't have to end up masking off all of the mesh, then that would be clutch. So we'll kind of take a look and see what we got. So looking at the back side of the grill, these were the tabs that I was talking about. So you can kind of see, you just have to like push this little bottom piece because it slides in on the bumper itself. But looking at the back of it, it does look like there's little push tabs for like our chrome emblem, and then push tabs for the actual chrome grille. So I'm gonna try to work on those and see if I can separate the chrome from the mesh. I was able to get the Nissan badge off, but I've come to the realization I'm breaking more tabs off than I am doing any good. So this will be able to be painted up nicely, and I swear like the chrome part should separate, but I'm not having any luck. And if I want this chrome piece to be able to like fit back on there, then I can't keep breaking tabs off. So I broke maybe just 2 off so far, but that's 2 more than I would like. And I mean, everything is just like kind of brittle plastic, and sitting in the sun and the weather, it's just real fragile. So I'm gonna paint this one up, be able to like prep it and paint it perfectly, where I'm gonna have to take the extra time and really do a good job like masking this up, so that way we don't get any overspray on the parts we don't want. So that's just, it is what it is, but I'd rather go about it that way and just take a little more time doing that than continue it trying to get this chrome separated and it not really working. In order to prep the surface, I'm gonna hit it with some sandpaper and just kind of scuff it up really good so that way the paint will stick. Might have off camera I went a little crazy. I wasn't really pleased with just like how when I was hand sanding it, like it was scuffing it up, but I wasn't thinking it was gonna be enough for the paint to stick. So I was like, off camera, let me just try to grab my Dremel and kind of see what that does. Well, as you can tell, like I've got down to where like the actual chrome plating has started coming off, and I was like, ooh, I know it'll stick to this underneath stuff just because it looks like maybe fiberglass or something like that. But then I kind of went a little heavy-handed and I've actually made like an indentation. So now I don't know if I've hit like a point of no return where I have to get it uniform and just take all of the chrome plating off instead of just scuffing it up like because I initially intended, like that was all I was gonna do, was scuff the chrome itself and then start painting. And so I'd already turned the camera off, and that's what I had in my head. And then I was like, I really wanted to stick and I don't want to have any issues. So that's where I got myself in trouble. But got a sander now, and I hate it's coming to this, because honestly what you should be able to do is just take some sandpaper, scuff it up really good, but I went way too far, so now I've been led down this rabbit hole, but that's my mistake. So learn from me, just scuff it up really good, and then some adhesion promoter, and you should be good to go. But because I've smoked through like the top layer of that chrome, I want it to be even and not have any like weird lines or like creases or anything in the paint job itself. I'm gonna have to make it uniform, make everything nice and flat. So I'm gonna have to take the extra step and sand it down. So let's get to it. Oh man, I'm really sad. This project's taking a turn for the worse. So I hit it with some 60 grit and 80 grit sandpaper. Well, 80 grit to begin with, and then 60. And it's just not eating through. Like, I really messed up when I did the Dremel. Because I mean, that ate through like this chrome plating or whatever it is. It ate through that pretty quickly. But then with the sander, I mean, it's not doing that. So I'm just gonna try to make everything as uniform as I can with the sander, and then just clean it up and hit it with the adhesion promoter, and we'll just, fingers crossed, we'll hope for the best. But like I said, with any project, if I mess up, I can always just buy a new one, but hoping I can recover this one, just because I don't want to spend the money, because I think a new grill is like 300 bucks, and that's gonna be a expensive mistake. But you live and learn. There's always gotta be a little chaos. It's the name of the game. So we'll clean it up and see how she does. Well, there's no doubt about it now. I definitely screwed up when I went back. I should have just scuffed like the surface of the grill and just left it at that. So me taking the Dremel to it and the sander and stuff, I don't think the sander was too bad, but the Dremel was way too much. It just went, I should have never ate through like that top layer of that chrome, because now that I'm painting it, it's not covering the portion that I ate through. So it's just, it doesn't look that good. It's gonna be one of those 5-foot mods, I feel like, where the farther you stand back, the better it looks. But my original vision, I'm hoping maybe I can cover it, because you'll notice I painted it white. Well, I'm also gonna go back over it with black, and I'm hoping with that, I can hide some of the blemishes, or at least make them less noticeable. We'll kind of see. This side is not too bad. I'm actually okay with this one, but it's pretty even all the way around. But as we move to the other side, that's where it starts getting a little rough. So I don't know if you can tell. Oh yeah, it picks up on camera. All of that like scuffing, I just went way too hard on. And then there, you can see it just won't cover that, just because I ate through that chrome too much. But then that's the really bad spot. So it's like a indention where I just went way too heavy-handed with the Dremel. So I got a hole right there. We're back. We let the grill dry overnight, and it turned out pretty good on the one side. Once I've got it out here in the sunlight, you can definitely tell where I sanded too much. But like I said, I got a trick up my sleeve. So what I'm actually gonna do is, I can't leave anything normal. That's just not my style. So I like to throw a little chaos style at everything I do. A little different, gotta stand out. So instead of either just a plain white grill or a plain black grill, I'm actually going to kind of do maybe like a geometric design or like some kind of abstract design with the white. So what I'm actually gonna do is lay tape, like tape lines, and just kind of like a, whatever pattern I feel, whatever looks good, and then paint it all black. So then when I pull the tape off, you'll see the white abstract lines showing through. So it should give the truck some character and stand out from all the thousands of other Frontiers on the road. So that's the plan. We're going to mask this up in the way that I feel that looks aesthetically the best, and then spray our black on here. Well, I'm definitely no professional, because halfway through my tape job, I realized that I was covering with the tape the white, like the imperfections, which, duh, when I paint it black, when I remove the tape, it's gonna be white. So I'm wanting to cover the imperfections with black. So then I had to, that was about halfway through, and I was like, oh, nuts. So I had to go back, peel some tape off and redo. But I think it's gonna kind of look neat. And I mean, worst comes to worst, if I absolutely hate it or if it just looks too crazy, then what I'll do is, I mean, just paint it all black. But can never go wrong. So we'll give it a try and see what happens, but I think it's gonna turn out neat. I've given the paint some time to dry, so now's the moment of truth. I'm gonna very carefully try to peel off where we put our lines and not mess up any of the black, and try not to let it bleed over into our white either. So fingers crossed this goes well. Now that we've cleared it, I'm actually gonna go ahead and remove all the tape from it. Just that way, because the next step is literally just letting it dry, and then we can throw it on the truck. I still do have to have the emblem painted, but I got something special in mind for that too, so we'll work on that next. But I'm gonna use my scalpel-like precision and get all this tape off. Now that the grill is all painted up how I like it, I'm going to jump on like that center Nissan emblem. I'm just gonna start out painting that all black. I've already gone ahead and scuffed it up. I did not make the mistake this time of using like the Dremel or a sander on it, so I've just scuffed it up so that hopefully the paint will apply easier to that. But I'm going to hit it with the adhesion promoter and then spray it all black. Majority of this project is watching paint dry. So now that we have our emblem nice and painted black, and this one I'm really proud of, this one looks really good. I don't want it all black because I want you to be able to see like the Nissan logo and just kind of break up the monotony of like the black grill. So I'm gonna try to take a paint pen and fill in our Nissan logo, just make that all white. So I'm gonna hit it with a paint pen and then let that dry. And I haven't decided if I want to leave the Nissan, that's why I'm gonna do it white first and see if I like the white. If not, then we might do it our like chaos blue. We'll see. This project isn't necessarily difficult, it's just very time consuming. So I've actually had Slam jump in and get involved. So she's the one that actually painted up our Nissan emblem. So she did the white first, just wanted to see how that looked. And it did not look bad, but I really thought like the blue letters would really set off the grill itself and kind of help it stand out. So she did a phenomenal job with the emblem. So now it's finally time to clear coat it, and then we can wrap it up, put everything together, and see the finished product, which that's what I'm most excited for. After hours and hours and days of starting this project, we're finally coming to a close. We got the piece of resistance, so we're gonna slap that Nissan badge on the grill and then reinstall, and we will finally be able to call this project done. It looks so good. I'm very impressed. I've never seen anybody with this, so one of one. That's kind of how I like to roll. That's my style. So you'll definitely see me coming down the road. I'll stick out from every other Nissan Frontier, so I'm sure I might get some funny looks, but I love it. It really makes the front end stand out. And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, like, this is pretty wild of a front end for the remainder of the truck to be stock. And that's okay, because this is kind of step one. So I kind of have like a vision of where I want to go with the truck and just kind of set it apart from the thousands of others on the road. So step one complete, and I could not be more thrilled. Lessons that I've learned to hopefully help you all out and save you some chaos if you do the same painting of the grill. One, I would just take some Scotch-Brite and just rough up the chrome. Don't blast through it like I did, because I'll show you the imperfections, because there is unfortunately a little bit of, it's a little detrimental, like hurts my heart that it came out the way it did on one side, but that was, again, my mistake. So you live and learn. So if I had it to do over, I would just Scotch-Brite the whole thing and then do some adhesion promoter, spray the black, and most of you, that's probably where you'll stop. But if you do want to get a little crazy, then as long as you do that Scotch-Brite first and do that adhesion promoter, whatever paint you throw at it will stick. So that was my first mistake. And then secondly, with the emblem itself, just be very careful pulling that out, because like I broke one of the tabs trying to get it out, and even I was trying to remove like the whole original chrome piece from the plastic itself. When you go to remove it, just be very careful. I ended up giving up on the grill itself, but if you pull that emblem off, it does come off and does separate, but just be careful so you don't break a tab. But other than that, it's just all in the prep work, and just prepare yourself. This is an ongoing project, so you're gonna spend more time waiting for paint to dry, anxious to finish the project, but can't just because you're waiting. So couldn't be more thrilled. I do appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, really helps out, and we'll catch you in the next one.